Hello there. Hopefully, this is going to be short and sweet and informative. First of all, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for clicking on this, listening to it, and I want you to know that I appreciate you being here. I want to talk about the passivity is, yeah, being passive that I think is probably designed. We have been designed or conditioned to be passive. How so? It's something that I'm not sure if it is related to a character trait or if it's something that has been conditioned to us by the way things are around us. So, when I say character trait, there are people who are highly agreeable. They tend to not want to impose their own opinions and therefore might tend to be passive. But there's also the thing that has been done by design, which, for example, the way everything has turned into an algorithmic structure. And the algorithmic structure basically takes the capacity to choose from you and feeds you your choices. So initially, you should be the one who decides, you know what, I want to do this, I want to watch this, I want to read this, I want to go there. But now you either have a set of randomly selected choices that have been designed and curated based on some algorithmic structure that read what you like and what you do. It analyzed your behavior and then it feeds you that. On the surface, it's a good thing because it knows what you want and it gives it to you. It's convenient in a way. And I think this is the thing with a big portion of technology. It takes away from you, and in turn, it makes you not use that part of your agency. Here's what I mean. So let's say initially, let's use the calculator, for example. Initially, you used to count either by your mind, by your head, or you would pick a pen and paper and you'd do your counting. Sometimes before even that, if you don't have a pen and paper, you would rely on your own mind. What's 64 plus 39? See, I'm getting the desire to go on my calculator and type in what's 64 plus whatever, 39. This number. And I'm noticing that my mind does not want to think about the answer. It wants to press on the equal sign. And even if I want to think about it now, 4 plus 3 is 7. Then we have 85. See, obviously I'm not thinking about the answer. I'm just demonstrating a point here. Now, it's the same thing. When choice is taken away from you, you don't use that part of your mind, that part of your mechanism as a human being. You don't want to think. You don't want to seek the answer, an answer to what it is that you want to do or read or watch or listen to or go to. Now, by that token, because choices are made for you, you tend to lean more towards being passive in your initiative. You do not initiate, you expect things to happen. It's also the classic case of, where do you want to eat? I don't know. I'm fine with whatever. Where do you want to go? It's all right. We can go anywhere. I'm not sure if it's a rising thing or if it is a character trait with some people, not all people. But I do think it might be a rising trait that occurs from this design. So it's done more or less on purpose. And what do you do about it? Most likely you live with it. Let me turn on the lights for a second. You live with it, you accept it, you try to regulate yourself and be like, I'll try to limit the influence of these things on me. I'll try to limit my use of technology, which, if you're somebody who has tried that, you might find it difficult to do. I used to think it's difficult to do. Well, honestly, it is. I used to have difficulty doing it, sorry. And with time and with deliberate choices, which I will share, it became less difficult. Here's what I mean. Obviously, just like anyone else, you get addicted to your phone. You're like, it's there all the time. And what I did is several choices that made my smartphone into a dumb phone. Basically, turning it to grayscale with a shortcut that allows me to toggle colors back on and off. I don't have notifications on my phone, like, at all. The only notifications I have are when I slide the control center down, and those are from specific messages that come from, like, it's an emergency or someone in my immediate vicinity needs to talk to me. And obviously phone calls. Other than that, I don't have notifications. So I noticed that I noticed when I was transitioning from that, wow, even the word transitioning, it has some annotations to it. Anyway, when I was getting over that signal, like when you hear a notification and you're like, oh, it's that, I stopped having that reaction. Even when I hear someone else's notification, like their phone, I don't feel any reaction. I'm immediately aware that that's not my phone, because my phone doesn't have any notifications. Anyway, so as I did that, and I found that I'm not using my phone as often. I still do, especially when I'm bored or there's nothing to do and I'm stuck in a place. Sometimes I do use my phone. I noticed that I'm regaining some aspect of my own agency and actually doing other things, reading, making a deliberate choice, getting busy with my physical body, with my hands, trying to do things away from technology. Also, another thing that I have done is locking most of the applications. Actually, first I deleted most of them, and the only ones that I have left, I locked, and I have to actually take some steps to unlock before I use them. Anyway, recently I got back to doing sauna, and this video isn't self-improvement, ice bath and sauna and whatever, but this has nothing to do with sauna itself, but I'll tell you. As I was sitting in the uncomfortable heat of the sauna chamber, I noticed that I was getting fidgety. Like the seat itself isn't comfortable, and I don't like to lean my back on the wood that's there. Rather, I just sit down and I try to lean on my own self, like on my knees, or just sit straight like this. I noticed that minutes were passing very slowly. And I don't blame the guys that were walking into the sauna with their phones. Like they need the stimulus, the distraction. And I'm not judging anybody. I do see the effect that technology has on us. Aside from the absorption of agency, also the reliance and dependency on them, which is fine. That's another subject. What I'm talking about is you making a choice, you taking the initiative, and you being assertive in what you decide. Another aspect of it is the watering down, reducing the importance of most of your choices, which is in itself isn't a bad thing. I'll tell you why. It is the polar opposition of somebody who makes a big deal out of anything or out of small things. That person will be stressed out, and they will stress people who deal with them very much as well. So the polar opposition is realizing that things are not a big deal. I'm fine with whatever, you know. However, it isn't black and white. It isn't a choice between two extremes. Rather, it's doing it in moderation. Basically, you don't want to make big deals out of small things, but also it's a different subject. You want to keep hold of your choices. You want to deliberately decide, you know what, I really am fine with whatever in this specific matter where I like all the options available. So also it's not making big deals out of small deals, but rather giving any choice you have its deserved size, because you're not making it a big deal or a small deal. You are making it a fit deal, the size of that deal. So why is this important? Why not like just be chill with whatever, which is fine in itself? Because I think it strips away your call for adventure, your desire for adventure. It strips away your love for life and your desire to pursue your passions and your curiosity, which is, I believe, a very powerful thing, to be curious. I notice, I could be wrong, I notice that a lot of people have lost curiosity and they are content with the walled gardens of the most popular, most common things, and that's it. It's as if they are not aware that there's more and they're not even interested. They got too comfortable with their comfort zone. And it might be okay for a lot of people, but maybe it's not okay for you because who knows, maybe you have been drugged. You are a creative soul, someone with passions and with desires, and someone with a soul that used to be a spark. I'm not going to say set on fire because it was made from amazing energy. It was made from fire, but it has been dampened down so much that it's just that damp. And the repetition of habits and daily routines just made you okay with it. You just repeat things over and over, and you lost that spark. You became an adult. Obviously, being responsible, being a grown up, it's not a bad thing, but it has a downside, which is it makes you forget that there's a child within you. And when I say a child, I mean the curious, passionate, happy, interested human being, soul within you. So maybe, and I invite you when I say this, maybe try to reclaim that. And who knows, maybe you can start, wow, I say maybe a lot. You can start by making the choices and sticking to them. If it doesn't matter, if you're okay with whatever, well, pick one. You have 5 choices, pick one, stick to it. You're okay with all of them. And if you're fine, because here's the thing, and I'll leave you with this. To make a choice is to take the burden and the responsibility of that choice. That burden might be scary initially, but try to replace that fear with excitement, because fear and excitement, in a way, they're kind of the same thing, except one of them, they kind of the same, they kind of are the same feeling, except one of them is a negative side of that feeling, while excitement is the positive side of that feeling. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I believe in you.